3i Atlas has nickel with almost no iron. This time without iron. With this new study, you can see here, this is the red area, here is the nickel. Bam! To the roof. And you go here, to the green, to the iron, and there's nothing here. NASA, we failed. We didn't find it. You must find iron! Loads of it! We can't explain this. This looks like a spaceship. Don't tell that!
A recent study on the interstellar object 3i Atlas has sparked intense debate among scientists, revealing a series of anomalies that defy conventional explanations. As new observations continue to unfold, 3i Atlas consistently exhibits traits that cannot be attributed to natural phenomena. These unexpected characteristics challenge everything we know about interstellar objects. Some researchers are now considering a disturbing possibility. 3i Atlas may not be a comet, asteroid, or any known natural celestial body. Instead, it could be an artificial construct. Its unusual behavior, composition, and trajectory all point toward one unsettling conclusion: that this object might be a deliberately engineered device or probe, potentially of extraterrestrial origin. The implications of this discovery are profound, and it is time we seriously reconsider what 3i Atlas might truly be. One of the primary reasons 3i Atlas stands out from other interstellar objects is its composition. Most known interstellar bodies like Oumuamua and 2i Borisov are largely composed of rock and ice with metals like iron and nickel in trace amounts. But 3i Atlas is fundamentally different. This object is made almost entirely of nickel, with almost no detectable iron. To say this is strange would be an understatement. Iron is one of the most abundant elements in the universe, especially in space rocks. Its absence in 3i Atlas raises a glaring question. How could a natural object have such an unusual composition? And why nickel with virtually no iron? When scientists first discovered this anomaly, they initially struggled to explain it. Nickel with very little iron is something that we typically find in industrial alloys, materials used in spacecraft, for example, to protect against the harsh conditions of space. This raises the possibility that 3i Atlas might not be a natural object at all. Instead, it could be an artificial construct, perhaps a probe or satellite deliberately sent to our solar system. The idea that this object might have been manufactured is hard to ignore when the composition aligns so closely with materials used in advanced technology. But what's even more perplexing is the continued resistance to this theory from NASA and other space agencies. Despite mounting evidence pointing to an artificial origin, these organizations seem determined to label 3i Atlas as nothing more than a particularly strange comet. This is not just a matter of scientific stubbornness. It has real consequences. The absence of iron in 3i Atlas is not a minor detail. Iron plays a crucial role in our understanding of the formation and behavior of cosmic bodies. Without it, the object's behavior cannot be fully explained by the known processes that govern natural objects. Yet, instead of acknowledging the possibility that 3i Atlas is artificial, researchers continue to search for iron, hoping to explain away this anomaly. But their efforts have been in vain. No amount of searching has yielded the iron they expected. This fact only deepens the mystery surrounding the object. And rather than confronting this issue head-on, some within the scientific community appear more interested in preserving the status quo than in considering the possibility that we are facing something truly extraordinary. As frustrating as this is, the peculiarities of 3i Atlas do not end with its composition. In addition to its strange makeup, the object has also demonstrated behavior that is unlike anything seen before in interstellar objects. One of the most intriguing features of 3i Atlas is its anti-tail. This is a jet of particles and gas that extends away from the object in the direction opposite to the Sun, a phenomenon commonly seen in comets. However, unlike typical comets, where the anti-tail is a visual artifact created by the geometry of the object's motion relative to the Sun, 3i Atlas's anti-tail is real. It emits particles in a way that suggests some sort of active process. But the anti-tail is not just strange because it exists, it's strange because it wobbles. Between July and August 2025, as well as continuing into November 2025, astronomers observed a periodic wobble in the antitail of 3I Atlas. This wobble occurs every 7.74 hours, and it's not a random fluctuation, but rather a precession similar to the motion of a lighthouse beam or a pulsar. The wobble indicates that the axis of the antitail is not fixed, but is rotating in a cone-like motion around the rotation axis of the object. This precession suggests that the object's rotation axis is offset from the poles, causing the jet to shift in a periodic manner. This is the first time such a periodic modulation has been detected in an interstellar object. The implications of this are profound. Natural bodies do not exhibit this type of motion. If 3I Atlas is rotating with such precision, it strongly suggests that it is not a random natural object, but something that has been engineered to behave in this way. The discovery of the wobble is just one of many anomalies associated with 3I Atlas. Another glaring feature of the object is its trajectory. When 3I Atlas passes Jupiter in March 2026, its predicted peri-Jove distance, 53.445 million kilometers, will be nearly identical to Jupiter's Hill radius, which is 53.502 million kilometers. This is not a coincidence. The Hill radius is the region within which an object can remain in stable orbit around a planet without being disturbed by the Sun's gravitational pull. That 3I Atlas's path matches this radius so precisely suggests that the object might be using Jupiter's gravity to deploy something, perhaps satellites or probes, into orbit. The Lagrange points L1 and L2, where the gravitational forces of the Sun and Jupiter balance out, would be ideal locations for such devices, and these locations require minimal fuel to maintain orbit, which further strengthens the theory that 3I Atlas might be carrying out some sort of planned mission. In addition to its peculiar trajectory, the precise timing of 3I Atlas's arrival adds another layer of unsettling complexity to its already mysterious nature. The object's path has been meticulously calculated to bring it close to Mars, Venus, and Jupiter, yet it has been positioned in such a way that it remains unobservable from Earth at perihelion, the point of its closest approach to the Sun. This level of accuracy in timing and positioning suggests a level of deliberation that goes beyond chance. It raises the distinct possibility that 3I Atlas's arrival is not a random event, but a carefully orchestrated maneuver, perhaps part of a larger, long-term plan. Given its path and the specific alignment with key planetary bodies, one must ask, what is the true purpose behind 3I Atlas's journey? Is it merely passing through our solar system, or does it have an underlying mission, one that remains unknown to us? This uncertainty becomes even more pressing when considered in the context of the object's other inexplicable features. The mass and speed of 3I Atlas only deepen the mystery. The object's nucleus is approximately 1,000,000 times more massive than Oumuamua and 1,000 times more massive than Borisov. Moreover, it is traveling at a much greater velocity than both of these interstellar objects. This level of mass and speed is highly atypical for objects of its kind. There simply isn't enough rocky material in interstellar space to consistently produce objects of this size and velocity. So how did 3I Atlas come to possess such extraordinary characteristics? The sheer scale of its mass and speed challenges the notion that it simply stumbled into our solar system by chance. Instead, the evidence points toward the possibility that 3I Atlas was deliberately directed here, perhaps as part of a mission with a specific objective. It seems increasingly improbable that an object of this magnitude and velocity could be a mere wanderer in the cosmos, guided by nothing more than the random forces of space. Adding to this growing list of anomalies is the peculiar gas plume surrounding 3I Atlas. The chemical composition of this gas is unlike anything seen in natural comets. The plume contains a significantly higher concentration of nickel compared to any known comet, as well as a nickel-to-cyanide ratio that is orders of magnitude greater than what has been observed in objects like 2I Borisov. This composition is a clear outlier. Natural comets simply do not exhibit such high concentrations of nickel. The presence of such an unusual gas plume further suggests that 3I Atlas may not be a naturally occurring object. Instead, its chemical makeup aligns more closely with materials found in industrial processes, such as those used in advanced technology. This reinforces the hypothesis that 3I Atlas could be artificial in nature, potentially engineered with a purpose that remains unknown. Finally, the retrograde trajectory of 3I Atlas introduces yet another dimension to the puzzle. Unlike most objects in the solar system, which move in the same direction around the Sun, 3I Atlas is traveling in the opposite direction, what is known as retrograde motion. This alone is unusual, but what makes it even more intriguing is the precise alignment of the object's trajectory with the ecliptic plane of the Sun's planets. 3I Atlas's retrograde motion is aligned to within 5 degrees of this plane, suggesting that its path may have been intentionally engineered. The fact that its trajectory is not only retrograde but also so closely aligned with the solar plane implies a level of planning and precision far beyond what would be expected from a natural interstellar body. Such a path seems too calculated to be the result of random forces, further supporting the notion that 3I Atlas is not just an object passing through, but something far more deliberate in its design and purpose. The anomalies surrounding 3I Atlas suggest that it is far more than a random interstellar object. Its unusual nickel-rich composition, precise trajectory near Jupiter's Hill radius, and timing to avoid detection from Earth point to a deliberate design. Its exceptional mass, speed, and chemical composition of its gas plume further support the possibility of an artificial origin. The periodic wobble of its anti-tail and retrograde motion only add to the evidence that its path and behavior are highly calculated. While we cannot definitively prove it is artificial, the mounting evidence makes this theory increasingly plausible. 3I Atlas may not be a passing curiosity, but something of greater significance, potentially with a mission. It is time to acknowledge the potential risks and implications of its presence in our solar system.